Alright guys, so this is my tutorial to how to set up positional audio between Mumble and Minetest. So first I'll be doing Windows and then I'll be doing how to do it on Linux. Yeah, you can check the description or pinned comment for timestamps to skip to where you need to go. Alright, so first you want to get the Mumble client for Windows. It's pretty straightforward. You just download the installer and then just go through it. Alright, so that's done, so I can go ahead and go and open it up. Yeah. I don't need to talk during this. Alright, so when you first open up Mumble, it'll have you probably do a tuning wizard, and it'll... Yeah, one sec. So just make sure that enable positional audio is on.
This is an example.
Then just go through, do all the other stuff.
This is an example of Speaks, an audio compression codec specifically
Make sure
tuned
to
for
set this to what you need.
reproduction.
If
This
you
is
have
an
headphones, do
example of
use
Speaks,
headphones,
an
and if you
audio
have speakers,
compression
don't.
codec specifically-
So not done, you just go on settings, make sure you have advanced clicked, and just go on audio output. Again, make sure that's on. And then for if you're playing on one of my servers, you'll probably want the following settings: minimum distance 1 meter, bloom 150%, maximum distance 30 meters, and minimum volume is 0%. That'll give you a nice little proximity voice chat. So if you get on to plugins, you just want to make sure that link game and transmit position is on. And I think you should also make sure that's on as well. Okay, so that's all you really need to do for Mumble for now. We'll just close it. And we'll get Minetest. Again, it's pretty easy. This one isn't an installer, you just extract it with either 7-zip or whatever you have. Now you can check your to see what bit version your computer is by going in properties. And so here we go, right down here, system type is 64-bit. We want the 64-bit system. If yours says 32-bit or x86, you want the 32-bit, but we'll go with the 64. Okay, so now it's extracted, and we'll get the client-side mod, and that will just be here in the GitHub. It's under the source code zip. We'll just grab that, and we'll extract it. Go in here, Minetest mod. There's the client-side mod. Now we'll just throw that in the client's mod folder. So to make sure that the configuration file is generates correctly, we'll just quick run the world and then we'll close it again. That'll just let Minetest mess with this file, or add it if you need it. It'll give us this little load mod mumble setting. Just want to set that to true. Alright, and if you, I guess I should also mention, you have to go under advanced settings and search client. And make sure client modding is enabled. It is disabled by default, so make sure that's enabled. Okay, so now the client mod is loaded up. we'll get the wrapper program. And again, 32, 64-bit, whichever you need. Alright, it might give you a warning that it's not commonly downloaded, it might be dangerous. It's not. You can look at the source code, and if it makes you feel any better, I'll extract it. And you can just scan it with Bitdefender. Yep, and it just says it's fine. So, if that helps anything, you know, you can also see the source code again. You know, it's what it's compiled from, so if you have any concerns, just, you know, take a look. Okay, so you can put this wherever you want, but it's just kind of easy to just put it in the Minetest bin folder. Yeah, if you just open the exe by itself, it's not going to work, because you have to specify where it is. You can just do that by making a shortcut. Go in properties, and then in the target setting, the first one you just do to the wrapper exe, and then you just do the second one to the Minetest exe. In this case, I can just copy and paste it and edit it just a bit, and we'll be good. Mummable. Okay, so I messed this up, I think. Alright, and then we can just run the shortcut of... You gotta make sure that you run mumble before you start the handler. We'll just do that, connect to my server. Just try that again. Press play. Alright, and then, let's see. Oh, you can see here that the data is being sent to Mumble. We'll just look at Mumble, and it should say Minetest linked. That means it's ready to go, and it'll just work right after that. And that's all there is to it. Alright, and for Linux, it's not too much different. First thing you want to do is just get Minetest and Mumble off the repository. Make sure to do install. I'm using sudo apt-get install Minetest Mumble. Sometimes the repositories are outdated, but in this case, this is the latest stable version of Minetest, so you don't have to worry about it. If it was outdated, you could compile it from source. Isn't too terribly hard. Yeah, you can just look up Minetest compiling Minetest, and that's how you do it. It's a little bit too complicated. I'm not going to get into it for now. It would take too long. We're just going to keep on going. You might also need a few other things like zip and a text editor to do some things, but I already got those, and many versions of many versions of Linux already have them at the start. So, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get the Mumble wrapper. Again, the links will be in the description, so you'll want to get source code as well as the executable file. Yep. Alright, now that we got both of those, I'll just grab them. We're gonna want to start up Minetest to have it create the .minetest folder here. That seems to happen a lot. Not to worry. The Minetest folder is located in USR games. USR/games. See, it's right there. So yeah, we'll just start that up, and there's that. I'll just place that in here. Now, if you already have it, and you already have Minetest, of course, you might not have to do this, but okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Might want to make a folder called client mods. And that's where you'll put the client mod. So to unzip this, I'll just do unzip that. Go in here, Minetest mod, mumble. Let's just paste that in there. We can delete that if you want. You can keep it. Doesn't really matter. Alright, and then you can start up Minetest again. And you'll want to go in settings, advanced settings, and search for client. Then enable client modding. We'll go back and we'll create a world. And it should have set up some more configuration files in here. If you have that file, you want to edit that with whatever text editor you have. I'll just be using Nano. You just want to set load mod mumble to true. And you can go ahead and close that. Okay, and that's the setup for the client mod and Minetest in general, so we'll just make sure mumble is set up. I already kind of set it up, but you'll have you go through a wizard. Make sure you do enable positional audio. And mumble doesn't work on here, but you know, if your mumble works, you know, it'll be fine. Here, I'll start it up again. Okay, and then you just want to go into settings. Make sure advanced is clicked. You want to go under audio output. Again, make sure it's on, and my servers, you'll probably want minimum distance set to 1 meter, bloom set to 150%, maximum distance set to 30 meters, and minimum value to 0%. Also go down to plugins and make sure that link game and transmit position is clicked, and also enable down here. So yeah, that's all you really need to do for mumble, apart from the normal setup. It's fairly easy. And then to set up the wrapper, you of course want to extract it. I'm going to be using tar-xcf. What's it called? You do xvf, Minetest mumble, and so on. And there's the executable. So again, well, maybe not again, but if you just try to run this, well, first off, you need to make sure that it's executable, which I think it is. So you can just, if you enter that, well, of course, mumble isn't running. We just do that. Let me try it again. It's gonna say you can't find it because, yeah, I can't find it for some reason. So you'll just want to close it. Why don't you go away? So you'll want to make, not a folder, you'll want to make a file, just a little sh. Call it whatever you want. I'll just call it mindtestmumble.sh. Okay, and then I'll want, again, with whatever text editor you have, you just open it up. And you just put in the path to the Mindtest wrapper. Let's see, what is it? It's just here. It's called Mindtest Mumble Wrapper. And then for the second argument, you just put the path to Mindtest, which in this case is user USR Games Mindtest. Just save it. Make sure this is executable. Yep. I'll start up Mumble again. And you'll just have to run it. For some reason it doesn't like me, so I have to run it from here. But testmumble.sh. Again, yep, you can see that the client side mod is sending the data. If you don't see all this and you just see this initial stuff at the top, well, whatever, you can't really see it. But that means that there's probably a problem and the Mumble client-side mod is not enabled. You can just look at Mumble, and you can see God dang it. Up here you can see Mindtest linked, and that means that it's working and you're good to go. So yeah, that's how you do it. I don't have any method for doing it with Android at the moment, but might be able to figure something out soon. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this tutorial was helpful.